Okay, well, I've had this for about a month, maybe 6 weeks. I don't know, something like that. And this came from a chap in the UK, and he is a real life collector from the UK, and he's just clearing a little bit of his, bit like me, some of his double ups and bits, and he had this in the box Sharp unit, and we did see these in Australia, more as 18s, obviously, back in the day. But I just went through this kind of really weird fascination that I should have one of these, regardless of the cost. Now, don't ask me how much this costs, because if I have to ever admit that to Samantha, I may not survive. It was pounds. Let's just start with pounds. All right, let's forget the cost. Let's pull the lid, eh? Here we go. All right, so what do we got here? My seller has been nice enough to put some bubble wrap in there to just comfort the books and bits, etc. So we've got the Sharp CB 5470 manual, and this has come complete with some American paperwork. So this might have been sourced by my English supplier out of the US, which is very, very possible. By the way, you're seeing it about what you're seeing here is about as far as I've gone. I think I've pulled the front up to have a look at it, and I've never really done much more. So, sort of, you are definitely seeing. If this doesn't work, you'll be seeing it just as as I find out. All right, let me just get two hands free. Okay, so I've pulled it out of the box, and of course it comes with its Sharp microphone. Looks like new. Radio. Looks like new. Check this out. This is one collector in the UK I would love to buy more from. Now, I haven't even tested this, and I'm already making statements like, let's buy more from him. I suppose in the real world we should test that, it actually works. Now, it is a notched clarifier, so you can feel the notch there, that you're at 12 o'clock on the notch, which is nice. Noise blanker, squelch, PA as such, and even comes up with PA on the volume, RF gain, mode, etc. So, pretty basic 40-channel CB. So let's just see if it transmits. We'll go with an AM carrier first. And by the way, I'm very positive. 5.9, hello 1-2, hello 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Now, if we just come down to over here to AM, and we add a bit of volume, and yep, that'll do. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1 2 3 4 5, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Okay, so it is certainly hearing us fine on AM. And let's try on some sideband stuff. Whoops, over here. Oh, back one. That's better. All right, okay. That's good. I'll probably be a little bit off frequency. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Hang on, I'll just sort that out. Okay, and a couple of adjustments, and we had the attenuator on the analyzer for some work I was doing earlier. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3. Hello, 1-2. Hello. Yep, okay, 1-2. Hello. Keeping in mind, my monitor is a little bit slow. So I would say we're on about 50 microvolts there. Let me just change. We'll just chuck an FM signal for the moment in there. That'll do nice. Let's see what we can get down to. All right. Okay, so let's take that down. We're at 50 microvolts. Probably reading a little bit lower. Normally radio lists would say approximately 50 microvolts is about an S9. So we might just tweak that just a tad. That's being heavily critical. Going down to there we go. Down to 0.5. Now this is the true test. When you're testing any radio, turn that down a bit. We're really looking to hear or to see whether this radio can hear, which is about minus 113 dBm. Look, I'm from old school, from trade school. I tend to be a microvolt sort of guy. But at 0.5 of a microvolt, minus 113, we call that the level that it must hear. That doesn't make it a super receiver. That just means, if it doesn't hear that, start looking, because, So what we do then, we go down to 0.1, which you can still hear it. So it's 0.1 of a microvolt, which is minus 123 dBm. Now, minus 123, we're starting to talk, hey, this receiver is doing good. Now, the true 100% test, and yes, it's still hearing. Got to turn the volume right up. And I'll turn this analyzer right down. It's in there in the noise. Well, actually, it's not bad. And that's at minus 133 dBm. Now, or translation is 0.05 of a microvolt. Now, that is really a top-notch receiver. Let me just bring that volume back down, and we'll take the generate function off. But truly nice. For the age of this radio, I really am impressed. Look, often you'll get a new inbox radio, and look, I've got hundreds of new inbox radios, and anyone knows me knows that I haven't even had a chance to pull some of them out of the box myself. And it's all very nice to have these radios, but unfortunately you will get a shock sometimes. You'll pull it out and you'll go, hey, there's a part of the display missing or something, and as you can see, I'm going through there and I'm just checking the display, and look, we're looking good there. The switch could use a clean. You see how we're just getting a little bit of, and that's because it hasn't been used. And when I say a clean, sometimes it doesn't need a clean, it just needs to be used. But you'll see that it'll just hover a little bit, because it literally, has been sitting for possibly 30, 40 years, so it's a long time. But overall, no, look, this is outstanding. The fact that I can just get on there and go 1, 2, 3, hello, test, hello, test, hello. And it's about standard power. Just under 12 watts there. So, and a lot of these radios, they were definitely undertuned, and this is why there was such a market in the tune-up market for CB radio techs. But I'm just going to put an antenna on. Look, it's midnight here. I doubt anyone's going to be there, but I just want to chuck it on. I'll just be 2 ticks. When I say to you, I'll just be a few ticks to put an antenna on, I forget that when I pause, you guys don't wait at all. I'm the one that does all the work. Anyway, I'm back. Right. So we're on an antenna, and it sounds lovely. I just wish there was somebody out there. Anybody out there hearing us at all? This is JDW229, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, on an old Sharp CB 2540, I think they are. Now, I'm probably talking to myself there. Was it 2540? Hang on, let's have a look at this box. 5470. Righto, that was close. Sharp 5470. It's a Sharp 5470 to everybody that's not listening right now. What about 177, Steve? 177 229. You about to all go ahead? And that's that's doing its 10 to 12 watts nicely. Look, because I can, and I have to, I'll probably give this a bit of a tune, and just check that it's 100% on frequency, and make sure that it's everything that it needs to be before we put it back in the box. The other thing we do too, just as a side note, we have a look at any caps. Have a look at any of them that look a bit like they're bulging, or if they've got some issues. Generally, if they look good and they and the radio's not exhibiting anything too silly, you generally don't have to do too much. But sometimes you'll get in and you'll go, righto, that just doesn't look right, and for the sake of a $5 cap or $4 cap, you'll just replace it. Sometimes we're talking cents for some of the, obviously, the electrolytics that are in there. But with the Sharp, I've done a fair bit of reading. They really didn't have too many major issues. They were a bit of a different chassis to work on, but reasonably straightforward. All right, well, I'm sorry nobody's there to talk to us. 177, Steve, 177 229. Get out of bed. I don't think he's going to do that for me. But look, love this radio. You know what? There was a reason. And Most people buy them because they had one when they were younger. I bought this because I couldn't get one when I was younger. So, yeah, anyway, I like the fact that you can, watch your display change there as far as your mode for mode display, etc. It's just, I love the TXRX lights, the meter. It was just one of those radios that, because you didn't see too many of them, you had to get a bit excited about and enjoy. But anyway, I won't go into my fetishes. I'm sure you've got your own, and you can make comments in the YouTube channel notes. It's, everybody has a weak spot for something, and this one... oh, look, you know what? I know we're not going to mention the price, but trust me, you could buy a small island for what this thing costs, almost. But that's not the seller's fault. That's the pound and the freight and blah, 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 blah. Actually, he was very kind to me. All right, so let me just say, good seller in the UK. If anybody needs to know who that is, I can certainly send them a private message and tell them more about him. He has some really, really good gear, and certainly I've found him to be, obviously with this radio here, just 200%. All right, all the best to you, 73s. This is the Sharp 5470, whatever I said before, 40 channel, upper, lower, AM, no extras. Noise blanker actually is a noise blanker. I love standard things, so I hope you've enjoyed having a look at something that's just a little bit rarer and a bit of fun to play with. It's VK3 Charlie Mike Brenton, JDW229. Please subscribe. Our subscriber base is growing. This YouTube thing, I don't understand it. I don't know how you make it work, but I think we just plod along and just keep doing what we're doing. We will try and do some things in a little bit more of an expert fashion in time. But for now, look, you know what? It's just having a bit of fun. Hope you guys are enjoying it too. 73s. Cheers all.